I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah, man. I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with this hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball, who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Whoa! You might be muted, Mr. Rhodes.
All right. Welcome to episode 680 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports, from institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David R. Rhodes, with my partner in crime, Tariq Wilson from Hampton University and HU Powership, and Brandon King from SneakerShopTalk.com. We are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 12:30 a.m. studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing? I know we did not have a show last week, but Mr. Wilson, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, as can be expected. Doing pretty well. How about you?
Doing pretty well myself. Can't complain too much. We got a couple topics to talk about. We got the right players in here to do it. So, Mr. King, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing all right. Seeing your nice little vehicle. You know, you out here living the fast life.
Get money.
Money. He's getting it in where he fit in, so to speak.
TSU bread. See, HBCU could do extremely well.
There you go.
HBCU.
Absolutely. So what do you want to start with today? Do you want to start with some rough news or some good news? Which one you want to start with?
Rough
today?
News. Bad news.
Rough news.
Yeah, let's go on and get that out the way.
All right, Mr. King. Tennessee State hockey delayed a season. Unfortunately, due to fundraising challenges and some of the financial challenges that have been going on in Tennessee State, they've had to delay their hockey season. Their originally was slated to start this upcoming season, and they're delaying it 1 year. So I'm going to start with you, Brandon, since you're a TSU alum. What are your thoughts regarding that?
If I'm going to be honest, I'm not surprised. I could kind of see the writing on the wall in terms of that, and just like I said, with some of the other just general financial challenges and things that was going on with the school issues and dealing with the state and everything. It's not really that surprising that this happened, because it would probably not be the best look if you're talking about your university in financial trouble, that you've got these issues and memos have been sent out about cutting costs and things of that nature. And here it is, you're launching a brand new sports program. The optics might not be the best for that at this point in time. So I could definitely understand it. I was, just from things that I was kind of hearing and seeing, I was wondering if it was going to be able to be pulled together. And obviously we got the word that it's going to be a year. So my hope is that you take this year and get all your ducks in a row, both from an administrative and an athletic standpoint, and that, in 26, 27, you're in more of a position to be ready to go.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Mr. What are your thoughts regarding?
Well, are you sad, Brandon, about it?
Sad is the wrong word. sad is not the word I would use. It's more or less
Listen,
like
I will say this. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a hockey game, but let me tell you something. It's a pretty good experience going to a hockey
Yeah,
game, man.
it's great in person.
I've heard that.
It is
I've really heard
phenomenal
that.
in person.
Yeah.
Phenomenal in person.
That's what I keep hearing.
It is. I'm telling you, man. It is phenomenal in person. It is like I took my son to a hockey game because we got the Providence Bruins up here. Like the minor league team for the Boston Bruins is the Providence Bruins. So they play in Providence. So it's not too far from where I live. So let me tell you something. And the tickets are cheap. Don't cost that much to check them out. It's intense, man. To get to see the fights and the way that they play. It's a different. It's a dope. It's a really good atmosphere. I will say that. I will say that from that. It's from a sporting event standpoint. They're up there. Like when you start talking about like good sporting events to go to, they're near the top. They're near the top from that standpoint. It's just it's tough on television.
It sucks that y'all even have to delay it. It has some echoes of like the Hampton lacrosse program. Even though they've been playing, but there've been a lot of rumblings about the university not like providing all the resources they necessarily need. So it's probably better to wait until you got the money to start on that kind of venture. So I think it's prudent, but one more year won't hurt.
Yeah, it won't hurt.
It was an ambitious undertaking, and I think when they initially announced it, I think that at least the perception of the thought of where the university and the athletic department was in particular, financially, they probably thought they were in a different place, and they kind of were. And a lot's happened in between the announcement and
You ain't lying.
Boy.
and so you've had a lot of moving parts, in that process that's kind of delayed things. So again, as long as you use this delay, it's not a indefinite deal, and you can use it to kind of position yourself for when it comes time to have the program that you hope to have, then it can be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do you
agree.
think, Dave?
I mean, I was happy when I heard the announcement, but like you said, Brandon, with everything that's been going on with Tennessee State as the institution, like I think sometimes we have a habit of trying to separate the athletics from the academic side and everything else within the school, and sometimes you can't. And they both go hand in hand. And with everything that's been going on with the university, I completely understand why they made the decision to delay it a year. But when they mentioned the fact it was about fundraising, and then I was wondering, like, I thought the NHL was involved in some capacity, like particularly the Nashville Predators. So I'm wondering, was it a situation where there wasn't enough like investment to try to get this thing going if the NHL was involved? And if that's the case, then that's a whole different discussion point. Because they could have still had that running even with all the challenges that was going on at Tennessee State.
Yep.
So
sucks.
No, it's rough. I mean, you never want to see something not get off the ground, let alone like you potentially could lose a sport. But I think Tennessee State's going to figure this out, and they'll be playing hockey in 2026, 2027. And it sounds like you guys were going to go as an independent, correct? I think you said correct. You're muted. Are you muted? I can't hear you, but I thought that you were going as an independent.
I think are there any hockey leagues in that part of the country?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like I mean, I know like there's well up in the north there's leagues.
Yeah.
There's leagues in the north. So I don't know how far up north you would have to go. But I mean Tennessee, I mean you're in the OVC, so I mean you probably could find some places to do it. Is your audio good, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good now. Now you're looking at a couple 100 miles journey at least to find somebody. I was told the exact mileage, and I knew it's a couple 100 miles, which when they announced it, I questioned it initially because, and this was going on when there were calls for us to leave the OVC, when everybody else was cutting bait and leaving the conference. And one of the reasons that they said the AD and whatnot was saying that all of the schools within the conference were a drivable distance, and so part of it was, we're going to stay in this conference because you can drive a couple hours to maybe go to Cookville or Martin or whatever the case may be. But then it kind of flies in the face of that from a hockey standpoint when you got to get on the road. And
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing, it's like football in this sense. It's not like, your basketball team, you can just jump in the bus and all you need is your sneakers and your shoes and all that. Hockey equipment takes
You
up a
got
lot
gear,
of space.
bro. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got gear in hockey, man.
And so, you got to look at that as an additional expense. You got to have, the transportability to lug all this stuff around. And so you got to look at that, if you're trying to go somewhere on a Tuesday night, and you've got to drive several hundred miles to get to a game. I initially I questioned it. So again, if you're looking at that, then you've got to figure out, again, and again, this goes back into what we was talking about from a financial standpoint. You're talking about launching a program where you're going from, maybe 90 minutes, 2 hours, 3 at the absolute most to play, some of your conference games, to now you're having to double that in a lot of cases. And like we just talked about with the lugging that equipment around, and that's an additional financial cost that you've got to incur. And again, with everything that's going on, people might not be the time to do it. If you talking about cutting costs and all of these things, and the state's breathing down your neck, they're trying to get their claws, and they already have, into the school for a while. And again, it just probably was not the best time. And maybe, this can turn out to be a good thing when it's all said and done.
I got a question. So do y'all have the same AD in place that signed the initial deal
Yeah.
to start things? Well, that's why he hasn't pulled the plug on it. If it was a new AD, they'd probably be like, nah, this ain't happening at all.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you there, Tariq. I agree with you there,
Yeah,
Tariq.
Dr. Allen is still there, and this was one of his going to be one of his crown jewel achievements. That you could say that we're the first HBCU hockey program. And so a lot of it's like I said, it's his baby, and you want to try to see it through, but there's a lot of other extenuating circumstances that have caused this thing to be put on pause.
Yeah. Hey, you see that comment from Chuck Hunt?
Look,
1997.
we got to find a basketball coach, so you might want to.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Hockey. I'm telling you, man. A live
Yeah.
hockey game is different, man. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah, I
telling
went
y'all.
to when I lived in DC, I went to Capitals for a playoff game, and that was crazy.
Oh, I know that
it
was
awesome.
intense.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I know that was intense.
It was awesome.
All right. So we're going to come back. We were talking about distance and things of that sort. We're going to come back after the break. We're going to talk about the HBCU Classic, give you my perspective on what I've been seeing in social media regarding it. So we'll be right back after the break.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to episode 680 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This is the Indy Report. Gentlemen, so we had some big news that came out yesterday. North Carolina A&T and Hampton are going to be playing each other in the NBA HBCU Classic during All-Star Weekend in Los Angeles. And there was a lot of people on social media that felt the way about us going to this game. I think Hampton didn't take most of the blows. It was mainly A&T that took most of the blows. However, one thing I noticed is that they've pretty much hit every single conference of HBCU conference in Division I and Division II. From what I understand, originally the original premise of this game was just going to be rotating between the SWAC and the MEAC, and then they decided to bring everybody in. So the CIAA got a game, the SIAC got a game, and this is for AD Drew. The Aggies and Pirates accept your challenge on breaking the attendance record from last year when Tuskegee and Morehouse played. I think they had 12K that showed up to Oakland last year, so we got to break 12K, Reed. We got to break 12K, man. We got to make it happen at the Forum. It's going to be in the Forum, which is pretty cool. Brandon will be back. So what's your perspective on it?
I think it's a great game. There's nothing negative about the game at all, except maybe they're playing in the old Coliseum, or the old arena. But other than that, it seems great. And I was listening to Earl, Gaither from HBCU Game Day, did an interview with him, and he was saying that they were trying to they've been trying to schedule this for like a year and a half, and just get I guess Hampton and at least A&T schedule lined up. So I think it's dope. I have some other thoughts about what this means to people saying we're leaving the CAA, but I think it's I think it's a dope move all around. It's nothing negative at all.
I haven't heard that aspect of it. I know,
but
folks,
those rumors, right? Like this kind of stuff should put those, because I mean, I watched the A&T press conference too, and they were just talking about how beneficial the CAA deals have been for them, economically. And I've heard from Hampton the same way. It should put all that stuff. I don't even want, but it's just hey, we're fine here. We're being elevated in this conference to this platform with support from the conference. The commissioner is always there supporting these things, so it's great. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people expected something different when when we made the decision to go over there. And I don't think it's happening like they anticipate. Yeah, A&T's football team has been bad. Yes, their basketball team isn't too hot either. But I think when the NBA and the folks who make the decisions on this game, they're trying to get brands. I think the branding is more important, takes precedence over everything else when it comes to this. But what I'm trying to figure out is how we're going to get Tennessee State involved in this. Like, we got to figure out a way to get Tennessee State in these streets. Because you guys seem to be the odd one out. Like, it looks like they're rotating conferences. That's what it looks like. It's like a pattern, right? I mean, I know there's some folks that feel like the best team should be there, but that's typically not how it goes. Sometimes it's about timing. The fact that A&T's been trying to get in it for 18 months. Like, they've been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
So like, you can't time when teams are going to be good and bad from that standpoint. But the brand is going to stand tall when it's all said and done. And A&T, I mean, they've got more MEAC championships than any other team in that conference, and Hampton second.
Yep. Hey, you know what I think? Which makes me even more excited as a Hamptonian is that the Pirate basketball is going to be good this year. I think they're going to have a good team. Are they going to win the whole CA? I don't know, but they're going to be good. So we'll be bringing a good team in there.
I mean, we only got 7 wins last year, so A&T's going to be better. I'm confident of that. They were able to pull Brooklyn Vic from Syracuse and Louisville. Like, we were able to convince him to come to A&T over Syracuse and Louisville. So
as a freshman?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Well, you get one good year of them. You're going to get one good year.
That's fine.
Yep.
But it's a good time, too, right? To have that game.
Right.
Yeah, like, we're going to probably get a couple games on the CBS Family Network. So, like, it's a phenomenal time from that standpoint.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, like, I remember when the tweet came out, and I was like, oh, I hope we can hold on to this guy and hope he signed, and he signed. So I'm like, we're rocking. We are rocking.
That's great.
So we're furious, too.
Wow.
Furious.
So what?
No, Syracuse was Syracuse.
Oh.
The Syracuse and Louisville fans were furious.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, you see them. I mean, he sees the math. He's going to go there. He's not going to play. So you go to A&T, you play, you get your stock up, a year or two, and then he's going to transfer to NC State.
But it was funny. We had somebody transfer to NC State, and all he did was sit on the bench. They went to the Final Four, but he sat on the pine. But he got paid.
It happens a lot. Yep, that happens. We've had a couple
he got
guys like that. Yep.
He was like a lead scorer, too.
What's the negative stuff you've seen about this online?
I mean, they felt like A&T shouldn't be in because of their record, and But I talked to somebody. I know somebody that like are in the room when they make these decisions, and it's about the branding. Like, it's ultimately about the branding when it comes to these decisions. And it's also about who's going to come to these games. Like, A&T travels. They're going to come as an alumni base. We travel, especially for basketball. We travel.
Yeah. I mean, Hampton is like it's turned more, I would say, basketball. We really get behind that. So we played in a lot of these games from Howard and Norfolk State past couple of years, and we show up like no matter where it is. So we'll show up for basketball, especially.
Yeah. So, like, what's your perspective, Mr. King?
Look, that might be why we ain't.
Hey, we got one of your big men from last year too. Transfer the 7-footer. Oh,
yeah.
He's good. Is he good?
He's decent. Solid rebounder. Decent rim protector. If you feed him, he can score a little bit. He's not a bum by any chance. He was solid for us. Mm-hmm. I think we'll definitely miss his size on the interior because we lost a lot of size. So and now I don't want to get too far off the tangent. Now we need a basketball coach.
Yeah.
And so we just signed a class of 5 or 6 guys. So I know the interim coach. He was on staff at Martin when they won their regular season conference title and won like 24 games season before last. So he's the interim now, but I don't know how many of these guys will be able to hang on to. The program was headed in the right direction, but yeah, we need a new coach. But to bring it back, look, sometimes I'll say it like this: we may not travel the best, and we saw it in football, which is why our last coach, Coach George, was angry about it a lot of times. And so, I mean, if if you're in those rooms and that's one of the topics of discussion, you don't want to have this nationally televised game in an empty looking gym because one of the fan bases doesn't travel that well. And I mean, you may not want to hear it, but we could do a lot better um, as a fan base. I thought that, granted, and I know basketball are a little different, but a lot of times the thought process is the same. That Jackson State left the Southern Heritage, I would have thought that would have been a chance for us to really take over that particular stadium, and that didn't happen. But then one of the things that aggravates me is that we want to get on social media and talk about what we did taking over Howard's homecoming. Hell, we can't even take over our own homecoming. There's no reason why you shouldn't have 10 to 15,000 butts in the seat. So I don't want to hear about what you did going. I know that might make some people upset, but it is what it is.
Don't worry, Brandon. We're gonna take over your John Merritt Classic come August 30th. So you ain't got nothing to worry about there. You
know what? I almost want you to, because maybe that would be the wake up call that we need. I would love this. This is gonna sound bad, but I would really. I hope y'all do show up and show out, because maybe that will kind of give us the kick in the butt that we need to let us know that we need to show up to these games and not just show up to the games in general. So hey, get all the tickets you can. Look,
hey Aggies,
that's where I am with that at this point.
Aggies, tickets go on sale August 4th. August 4th. I'm just waiting so I can get my tickets. I'm flying down to Nashville, so I'm looking forward to that trip. I like Nashville, so I'm looking forward to get down there for that. But yeah, man, social media was fascinating about A&T being in the game and how the teams were getting picked and things of that sort. But I mean, next year there'll be another set of teams, and I think the key is, man, we got to keep growing this thing. So they're gonna pick institutions that's gonna keep the attendance up, gonna spend money in the area wherever that All-Star game is. But I love the fact that A&T was A&T and Hampton was able to get down to Hollywood. That's gonna be pretty cool. I'm probably gonna try to get down there for that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that might be worth a cross-country trip.
Yes, Dr. Cavil. Shout out to Dr. Cavil watching the show. Mr. King is absolutely talking about the fact that nobody the folks at these State ain't going to these games. Absolutely.
But can you blame the fans? I mean, y'all got like the
they
teams
won, but the thing that's wild though. The reason why people didn't like A&T going to this game in February was because of the fact they weren't winning. Tennessee State was winning. They won the conference last year.
They won, but it's like all about stadiums and all that stuff matters to a degree. So when they playing in that Nissan State, it just don't feel like they're winning. You know what I'm saying?
But it doesn't matter. But the thing is, folks were saying it's about winning, and I'm like, winning is great. I think winning helps. I think winning's a factor. Right. But there's other things that's got to be. There's other things besides that matters too.
Agree.
And here's the thing, because I heard the winning thing, because the past few years we were stacking a lot of 3 and 8s, 4 and 7s, a lot of sub 500 seasons. So the past 2 seasons, speaking of football, you can't say that, because like I said, we went 6 and 5 the previous year, and then not only you win the conference for the first time in a quarter century, and then you go to the playoffs. We hadn't been to the playoffs since what,
2013 or 12?
2013?
12, something like that, yeah.
So we can't say that. Now I will say this. Now over the past several years, particularly since we've moved away, there's been an influx of people into the city of Nashville. And so playing at Nissan Stadium, it can be a bit of a hassle to get there, both in terms of traffic and dealing with all the parking and all those sorts of things. So at a certain level, I get it. There's a lot of other obstacles that kind of go into attending the game now. But still, if you're saying that the product out there is not good, that has been alleviated. I think the other thing, and it's still, you want to. It's like you want to win, but we're wanting to win in a certain way against a certain opponent because a lot of those games, outside of the HBCU matchups, people aren't. The issue is that we play a schedule that most of the fan base is not invested in. And that's really what it comes down to. And I've said it before, when the schedule comes out, people look at, there's a handful of games that they're going to look at. They're going to look at the JMC. When we're in the Southern Heritage, you're going to look at that. You're going to look at homecoming to see who's on the schedule for that. And then you're going to see if they sprinkled in another HBCU. Those are the games that people look at. And then if you win those and then whatever happens in the OVC, is what happens in the OVC, and then people go from there. If you win, great. If you're not, whatever. And that's really what it is. People. I mean, no one's talking about Eastern Illinois. No disrespect to the Panthers, Linden Woods, but
yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar with the CAA, right? Like, and that's why when we talk about like the business side of this, I always feel like we should be strategic in how we schedule these games, right?
Yep.
And so that's why when I looked at A&T's schedule this year, I was furious that we were playing South Carolina State at homecoming at G-Ho. I was furious. 'Cause I'm like, you're gonna get a gate for that. It might not sell out, but you're gonna get a gate for that if it's a different home date. Like, if it's not a home opener or G-Ho, you're gonna get a different gate for that. Because G-Ho's gonna sell out regardless. It don't matter who we play. We've already proven that. It's sold out when we play Monmouth. It's sold out when we play Campbell. It's sold out when we play Townsend. That game's going to sell out regardless. So why would you put South Carolina State on that docket? And then it's a rivalry game. Why would you put a rivalry game at homecoming? That's a whole different discussion. Like that's a whole different steez, right? You don't do that because the home opener is going to always draw. It doesn't matter who we play. It's going to draw. Is it going to sell out? Now, it could sell out depending on who we play. It sold out last year when we played Winston because that was our home opener too. People don't realize that. It was our home opener as well. So you put those for the other home games. Like open the season up with Campbell or Elon or somebody else. Like if it's a close school, they'll tend to bring fans there. Like Elon will bring some fans there. Campbell will bring some fans there. Can South Carolina State bring their band to G-Ho? No. It's not happening. It's not happening. The alumni base wants the seat. It's not happening. It's just not happening. And that's another reason why you don't schedule it for G-Ho. It's not happening. There's only one school over the past decade that got to perform at G-Ho, and that was Norfolk State. And they did a whole band blast the night before. So it's not happening. It's not happening.
They're not going to tell them what Howard told us. They were like, you can bring the AOB and they can stand outside the stadium. And
it's not happening. But and the thing is too, man, like hotels are already going for
that.
Yeah. It was on paper, black and white.
People in there, man. They should have paid y'all to come.
No, it's not gonna happen, man. That's why when I saw the schedule, I was like, because I'm from South Carolina, for those who don't know. So I got a lot of family that went to South Carolina State. And I pretty much told them, y'all can come to our homecoming, but your band ain't gonna be there. I'm sorry. It's not happening. It's not happening. G-Ho's gonna sell out within the first hour once it's open to the public. We've already sold more season tickets than we have even during the Celebration Bowl era. Like this is the most season tickets we've ever sold ever.
That's great.
It's not happening.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not. Like I'm just gonna keep it real with you. It's not happening. Now this is a good question. Y'all gonna send that band to Jackson? Y'all gonna send Hampton? Hampton gonna send the force to Jackson State?
We need to. We need to. We need
Yeah,
all the help
definitely
we
need
can
to.
get. We need all the help we can get.
Blue and Gold Marching Machine is going to be in Nashville, so I'll just go and let you know that now. They
It's
will
a
be
great
there.
question. We should.
The-
I would assume so. We need it.
It's one of the 2 road games we're going to. They only going to 2 road games. They already got their schedule lined up for the season already. That's one of the 2 home games. We're going to go to Tennessee. They're going to go to Tennessee State, and they're going to go to Elon to close out the season. It's right up the street.
No, somebody got. You see that? Let's go.
Hey, look, man, that's how it works. That's how it works. And we won 1 game. We actually won a home game last year. Now, granted, it wasn't against a Division I opponent. We won 1 home game. Listen, man, if you could sell out your games without any wins, that's brand power, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man.
And that's a cultivating fan base.
If Hampton had only 1 win, boy, he might have 5 people in that joint.
I will say,
parents and cousins in the stand. That's it, man.
I will say, we had a shot to be top 10 in FCS attendance this year, but the final home game killed it. The final home game dropped us probably down to like 14, 15 because nobody came to senior day. It was bad because the team was so terrible. We lost by average of 30 points at home.
Yeah, y'all were bad.
It was bad last year, man. But still, we was 14th in FCS attendance last year.
Yeah.
So can't complain about that. But yeah, man. So shout out to the NBA. To close this up and go to break. Shout out to the NBA for the opportunity. Shout out to AT&T because they're sponsoring it. And from what I understand, the game is going to be on Peacock. They don't have the time yet. I think I'm gonna have to just make a trip to Los Angeles, man. I think
it might be worth it.
Yeah, I might have to make that trip to LA. Stephen Gaither said when Winston was in that game, they said that a lot of his friends went and they had a ball. So I mean, it's a different experience. And I've never been to All-Star Weekend. It's on my list anyway, so this gives me an excuse to go ahead and knock that off the list.
You think Dr. Cavil can sponsor our trip out there? We can do a live show.
Doc, you still in the chat?
I love my HBCU.
Putting it out there. The Indy's on the road. We can take this show on the road.
Definitely take this one on the road, man. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna take another break, and when we come back, we're gonna I want to do over unders with our 3 programs for wins. So we'll do over under for our 3 programs. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I got some lines. Yeah, I got some lines, and we'll do over under. So we'll be right back after this break.
There's a shot.
That might be. It could be.
Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you, guys, for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
football fans. HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to episode 680 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. All right, we're gonna do some over-unders, man. Who want to go first? Which institution want to go first? We're gonna do the Independence this week. Next week we'll probably pick one. You want to go? You want to do Hampton? You want to know what the number is, man?
Yeah, what's the number?
5.5.
Confidently over.
Wow.
Confidently.
Wow. Do I need to pull the schedule up? Do you show me these wins, sir? Okay.
Yeah, we can pull it up.
Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and put this up real fast. What are you thinking? Over under 5.5 wins. Brandon.
For me? For Hampton?
Not Brandon.
For Hampton or
Hampton, yep. 5.5 over under.
Ooh. I might go slightly under.
Slightly, all right. So that means 5 wins. That's what the slightly means. The slightly means 5 wins. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the schedule real quick. All right, here we go. Oh, let me see. Boom. Here we go. All right, man. This is Hampton. So
Okay.
you're telling. All right. So we know you're gonna beat Elizabeth City State. Like I think that's clear.
Yep. That's one.
That's one. All right. What about Jackson? How you feeling about Jackson?
You know, I would not be surprised if we won, but I think that's gonna be a L. But I wouldn't be surprised if we won.
If y'all beat Jackson State in Jackson, ooh, I got some questions for everybody.
Don't be surprised, but you know,
I like the line is pretty. I think the line is still double digits if I recall, and I think that's way too high. I think I have y'all. I don't have y'all winning, and maybe I'll change my mind between now and when it's time to like make the official picks on HBCU Nightly. However, I think the game's gonna be much closer than what everybody's saying it is right now currently.
I'm gonna tell Jackson State Hampton is gonna bring a big nasty team in there. Now, you know, y'all are champs and skill, but y'all gonna have to be ready to be like in the slug sets for the whole game. So, but because I'll just keep it real. There's a good chance Jackson State will win that game.
Yeah, I expect Jackson to run through the SWAC. That's what I expect. So that's what I'm anticipating. All right, I know you're gonna pick A&T to lose. Y'all gonna beat A&T. All right, and I expect y'all to beat Howard.
That's 3.
Elon.
4.
Okay. The Beholders.
5.
Wow, 5-1. 5-1, huh? Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Campbell.
6.
All right. Nova. At Nova.
No.
And Mama's supposed to be good this year too.
We can handle Monmouth at home, but their offense is going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm. They might end up with the best offense in the conference.
Yeah. But at home, I think we can do something. So what is that? 6?
I'll put you at 7.
That's 7.
Yeah, boy.
And I think we could beat Maine at 8.
Yeah, y'all can beat Maine. So that's 8.
That's 8 wins. That's legit 8.
So you don't think you can beat William & Mary or Rhode Island? I'm gonna go to this game too. I'm going to this game in Rhode Island.
Well, we never beat William & Mary. We should have beat Rhode Island last year. It'll be something. You got to travel up to Rhode Island.
Their fans don't show up like that, though. I can tell you that. When A&T played them, A&T played them 2 years ago. Their fans don't be showing up like that. There was a lot of Aggies in the building too. So
well, shoot, I may drive. How long is that a drive from New York? I might come to that game.
New York? Oh, that's only like 3 hours. Three and a half. Oh yeah,
for that one. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think there's a train stop right in Kingston.
Oh, so okay. Well, we can meet up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So that's a legit 7-8 wins right there. I mean, what's the? I mean, there might be some upsets, but I mean, we could win at least 7. I'm
Wow.
expecting this team to be right on the door of the playoffs, if not in it.
The only thing, man, this game right here, Elizabeth City State, because that ain't going to count towards your FCS wins.
Right.
So that's going to be a factor as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's. I mean, what's the other podcast we were on with
Oh,
the brothers?
with Pooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Pooh,
HBCU
and he
hour.
was he was saying that everybody that came on and said the team's gonna get like 8, 9, 10 wins. So
That's a fact. Everybody
nobody
lying.
saying the team gonna suck, but
Everybody actually, I did. I
well,
understand what I understand what we about. I understand what it is, and you know what? Phenomenal segue. Let's go ahead and do A&T next. I'm going to get me out. Of the way. I got the line at 2.5.
oh
Right?
damn, wait, is that from Vegas?
No, these are my
Oh, okay.
days line.
All right.
I got it at 2.5.
Oh man, come on, man. Y'all gotta get 3 wins. Let's see.
I got it at 2.5. Here's A&T schedule.
All right. All right, you count the wins, man.
I'm gonna be honest. If we don't beat Tennessee State week 1, it's gonna be under. But I think we're gonna beat Tennessee State.
Whoa.
Because remember,
Eddie
man,
George, he not leaving the covered bear. Did everybody transfer when he left, or?
I mean, Barlow had to rebuild the whole roster. Gibbs, there's a decent chunk of folks who stayed, but the biggest challenge that A&T is going to have is that they had a lot of injuries. So we'll see what they look like when they get when it's time to start. Once they start doing more practice and stuff in camp in July, late July, and going into August. So I think that A&T and Tennessee State, they don't know what we're going to have on either side. Nobody has an idea. So if we're going to get this, if we don't, I think us beating Tennessee State will get us to the over. I think us not beating Tennessee State is definitely going to put us under, like, because otherwise it's going to be tough sledding. Central Florida, we're not going to win that game. That's a check. Hampton, oh man, I think we have a chance, but that's a possible for me. I can't fully confirm it.
How
I
about
think
those Eagles?
Yeah, man, I don't like them. The school down the road. I'm not happy, but if we found a way to beat them, I think their season would be in a panic if we found a way to beat them, but I don't see it happening. Not right now at least. I gotta see something first. I think we'll get our first conference win in Maine. I think that'll be our first conference win, and then we're gonna get stomped by William and Mary because they're still gonna be pretty good. We'll beat South Carolina State at G-Ho, and that'll put us over to 3. That'll put us at 3 right there.
They gonna fall off like that?
I think they are. I really do. I think they are. I mean, I got Norfolk State as the second best team in the MEAC right now. So, because they've brought in a lot of pretty good talent. I mean, and I can't trust Morgan State anymore. Like I just can't. I've been asking them to bring a quarterback in for the last couple of years, and they haven't done it.
They can't win scoring 12 points a game.
Nah, not if you give up 17. All right.
Right.
The
Y'all need
rest
to
of it,
schedule VUL or something like that. Y'all, you got no cupcakes on this schedule.
not an ounce, man. Not a single cupcake in sight.
Schedule Howard or something.
Could we beat Howard?
Yeah.
Could we beat Howard? I don't know. But Howard's going to take a step. Supposedly, I mean, Howard's probably going to take a step back too, potentially. Campbell's possible because it's at home, but I think Campbell's going to be good this year. Townsend, nope. Stony Brook, nope. Stony Brook going to be in the top 25, nope. Monmouth probably going to be in the top 25, nope. And Elon to close out the season, possibly. But yeah, it's going to be 3. Like, I think it's 4 wins max for us, man. We'll probably get one of the possibles. What do you think?
Okay,
what do you
so
think,
you're going
Reed?
over.
Sir, I'm going over. What about you, Reed?
I'm going. You're going to have a great season. You're going to double your wins from last year.
That means under. Okay. What about you, Brandon?
I got to go under because you picked us for one of the W's.
I have to. I have no choice, sir. Because if we don't win the opener, I could see us go winless, and that's scary. And the thing is, I don't think it'll be a situation where I think the coach would be in trouble by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that shows how dire the situation was and what he had to inherit. But I do think that Coach Gibbs will get a win or two out of this thing. Like, I think he's worth a win or two alone, and then we'll just get a couple wins and get us over the hump. Yeah, listen, Edwin, you're right, and I love Banks. Shout out to Banks, but man, I'm taking my chances with the Beholders at this point. And Michael Vick, I'm taking my chances. Y'all already let a first year head coach come in there and win the MEAC last year, so it can happen again. I don't think that, and I stand by what I said. Whoever stops the school down the road from winning the MEAC, I will give that institution a donation to their athletics program. I stand by what I said. I'm not changing my stance on that. If y'all can stop them that school from Durham from winning that championship this year, I will donate to your athletics program.
I would never give Howard money ever.
If Howard let me tell you something. If Howard wins the MEAC, I will be sending some money to Howard. If Norfolk wins the MEAC, I will be sending some money to Norfolk. Whoever outside of the school down the road wins the MEAC, I will be sending the money over.
That's supreme hateration. I appreciate that.
I am shooting whatever it is, the donation will come. All right.
Yeah.
Last but never least, Tennessee State. Why you okay, man? Why did you growl? There's no reason to growl.
Because maybe it's the Chicago Bulls fan, and I am eternally pessimistic. I hope for the best, but I prepare for the worst.
I didn't even tell you the line yet. You ready?
On. Yeah.
3.5.
I'm going over. I'm gonna go
over. Okay.
I like that.
I didn't say how much over, but I'm going over.
Well, we're gonna find out how over you really are. I know you're gonna pick at us. You can pick y'all to beat A&T. I don't think you'll pick us. I don't think you'll pick you to beat North Dakota State. But.
Heavens, no.
What about Alabama A&M?
Yeah, I think we can.
Wait, y'all are at home against North Dakota State? Wow.
Yeah, because it was a home and home.
That's awesome.
They already went to Fargo.
Man, you got four, right? Starting out 4 at home, man. Y'all should be good to go.
Here, if with me probably going, the thing that concerns me, because last year, I say that Coach George had molded that team into what he wanted in terms of how he wanted to play, in terms of being a physical defense, and was able to run the ball and not make too many mistakes. And so, you lost all but one starter on defense. You lost your starting quarterback, had to move on. You lost that running back room is a lot of guys left, and that includes a lot on the offensive line. So you're going to be young up front, and you're piecing together with transfer guys, and we don't know what this defense is going to look like. So that's why I'm not too bullish about going too far over that the over under. But yeah, I think we'll get Alabama State. Honestly, I think Tennessee Tech probably beat us. We'll probably beat Eastern, though it will probably be a lot closer than it should be, or that we would like. I think Simo's going to clean us up.
Can you beat Howard?
So that game, there was some moments in that game last year before we took back control of it. It's homecoming. I think Howard to take a step back. I think we'll probably get that one, but it's not gonna. It's gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be an easy week. Western Illinois, they are improving. Is that here? I mean, in Nashville, I don't live in Nashville. We'll probably get that one. I think Lindenwood, Martin, Gardner Webb. I think we lose all three of them. I really do.
Is Lindenwood Division I? I've never heard of them.
They are. They're in OVC.
Yeah, did they recently step up or something? Oh, that icon.
No, they've been in the conference for a minute, if I recall.
Wow.
They've been in that conference for a minute.
Charleston Southern. We'll get that one. So that's what?
That's 5. That's 5, ain't it? 5
I
wins.
went 5. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we had more time.
So
I had some thoughts about this schedule. I'm gonna go slightly over.
yeah, I think y'all can go over too, man. Y'all just ain't beating A&T though, but y'all can go over. Yeah, y'all can go over. I'm gonna answer the question, Dr. Cavil, then we're gonna close out the show. So Dr. Cavil asks, "What's the football record between A&T and the school down the road since the Division One FCS move?" So they went to Division One in 2010, and the series right now is tied. It's 7-7. It's tied 7-7. I mean, A&T leads the overall series 53-38-5, but since going to Division One, it's tied 7-7. I think since 2000, it's pretty much. I think school down the road is 1 game back, I believe. But no, it comes in cycles, man. Like, you know, A&T will win 3 or 4 in a row, then school down the road will win 3 or 4 in a row, and that's typically how it's just a cycle. That's typically how it goes. I think the longest streak was between 89 and 2001, and I think that was like 12 straight, I believe, 12, 13 straight. So yeah, it was 12 straight. So, but typically it's in cycles. But all right, let's close this out because we got the OG Strike Zone coming up next. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. Make sure you follow myself at ChampD1012. Check out the HUPireship.com to check out all the Hampton sporting news, and go to sneakershoptalk.com, and Brandon King's writing some phenomenal articles there. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Make sure you follow Dr. Kiana Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you follow Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on Sports Lab 1 on Facebook, and Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you soon. Reek.
Of course.
Brandon.
Lecture.
Dismissed.